Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Hirambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasyad Virada Vaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gaganasadrisam Tattvamasyadilaksham Yekam Nityam Vimala Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. The last two slokams are Guru slokams, and Guru is Parabrahma. Now we will say a prayer for Narada from Tyagaraja Kriti. Okay. Sareku Srihari Pada Sarasamula Dhyaninchuchu Narayana Namamulunu Parayana Monarinchuchu Narada Muni Vedalina Sugunati Sayamu Vinare. That is a prayer for Narada. And we'll go through the meaning later, as time permits. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishthaya Namo Namaha Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram Sakte Pautramakalmasham Parataratmajam Vande Sukatatam Taponidhim. The last two are prayer slokams for Vyasa. Now we do prayer slokam for Sukha Muni. Very important. Okay. Yam pravrajantam anupetam apeta krutyam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravaha abhinedhugu tam sarvabhuta hridayam muni manatosmi. Who at the time of birth itself was one with Brahma, not separate from him, always in Brahma Jnanam, and for whom the actions do not bind, free from actions. Dvaipayana Vyasa, there are several Vyasas were there. Dvaipayana Vyasa's son, who when this Dvaipayana Vyasa, being separated from his son, he said, "Hey Putra, my son," he called him. At that time, what happened? Because he was present everywhere. Bhagavan is present everywhere. Even the trees, they responded to the call of this Vyasa Muni. That Muni, that Vyasa Sarvabhuta Hridayam, that one who is present in the Hridayam of all beings, that Muni, Sukha Muni, Manatosmi, I pray in my mind. One more slokam for Sukha Muni. Yaha Swanubhavam Akila Srutisaram Ekam Adhyatma Deepamati Titirshatam Tamaha Andham Samsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam. What this slokam talks about is one who gave us what is it that really belongs to us, that's our own, right? That prakasika, that's effulgent, that's Svanubhavam. Akila Sruti Saram, all the Vedas, all the scriptures, what is the essence of that? Ekam, there's only one. That Tattvam. Adhyatma Deepamati, the thing that effulgent, the thing that shines from our own Atmic Jyoti. Titishatam Tama Andham. And Samsarinam, people like us who are all caught in the Samsara Bandham, and we want to go beyond the limits of ignorance, which means we want knowledge. Titishatam Tama Andham, with his infinite grace, Karunayaha, Purana Guhyam, the thing from Guhyam does not mean secret. Guhyam just simply, that means that remains unknown. It remains unknown because you have not bothered to know it. That's all. It does not mean it is secret at all. Knowledge is available to everyone. We just haven't made effort to know it. Because the Purana from eternal time, that Vyasa Sunu means son. That Vyasa's son, that Guru, who made all this available to us for the welfare of all the grihasthas caught in the samsaram and who want to escape that samsaram, who gave us that ekam, this one essence of all the scriptures that is effulgent by itself. That Vyasa Sunu, that Muni Nam, I worship. So these two slokams are on Sukha Muni. Why we go through Guru and Vyasa and Narada and Vyasa and Sukha, you all know that, we will cover that also. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayete. I worship Narayana, I worship Nara, that's people like us, because Bhagavan is present within us. Naram Chaiva Narottamam, the Uttaman among all the men. Saraswatim Devi, Namaskaram to you. Vyasam, Namaskaram to you. Tataha Jayam Udirayete, let there be victory. Jayam is another name for Mahabharatam also. Udirayete, let there be victory. Krishnam, now, very important, next few slokas. Krishnam Kamala Patraksham Punya Sravana Kirtanam, that you understand. Krishnam Kamala Patraksham, Kamala Patra Aksham, Tamare Kannan, lotus eyes. Punya Sravana Kirtanam, Sravana Punyam, Sravana Kirtanam, to listen to his Kirtana itself is Punyam. Vasudevam, we'll talk about Vasudevam later, a very important name. Jagat Yonim, the Bijam, the seed for all the Jagat, all the universe. Naumi, I namaskaram, I pray to him, worship him. Narayanam Harim. Narayana, Vasudeva, Vishnu, very important, we'll talk about it, okay? Harim, who removes our ignorance. Now, next few slokams, we will share the worship slokams of, very important, Bhishma, Kunti, Gajendra, Dhruva and Prahlada. For each one of them, we will take one sloka. How they worshipped Bhagavan. First, Bhishma. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuhu Alaka Kulavrutanana Abjam Vijaya Sakhe Ratihi Astu Me Anavadhya. Bhishma is praying to Krishna before he merges in him. And what does he say? He says, you are the one that's attractive all over, in all the three levels of consciousness that we have, right? Three states that we live in. You are the one attractive. Kamanam, Kamaniya, we say for Rama, right? Tamala Varnam, dark, beautiful. It's a darkness that's very attractive. And it's also dark at the same time, Ravikara Gauravara, effulgent like the sun. What is he doing? Ambaram Dadhane, he is dark, but he is wearing an effulgent shining dhoti, veshti, cloth. The dhane who is wearing that, vapuhu, okay, alaka kula avrita ananam, beautiful. That means he has got not just one curly hair on his head. It's a group of curly hair that's covering his forehead and face. Anana means face. That Krishna, that abjam, also like a face is like a tamarai. Abjam means tamarai. Vijaya Sakhe, the friend of Vijaya, Arjuna, Ratihi Astu me anavadhya. May I be continuously, anavadhya means always, be attracted to you. Ratihi Astu, may it be like that. That is Bhishma. Let us see what Kunti says. And today we're going to share, tomorrow I'll share another slokam from Kunti, which is very easy to remember. This one is a bit more Sanskrit in it, okay? So, Sri Krishna, Krishna Sakha, Vrishni Rishabha, Avanidhrit Rajanya Vamsa Dahana, Anapavarga Virya, Govinda, Govija Sura Artihara, Avatara, Yogeswara, Akila Guru, Bhagavan, Namaste. That is Kunti. Most of the words you would have understood. Okay? Now we go to Dhruva. One slokam from Dhruva. Yasmin Viradda Gatayo Yanisam Patanti Vidyadayo Vivita Sattaya Anupurvayat Tad Brahma Visvabhavam Ekam Anantam Adhyam Ananda Matram Avikaram Aham Prapadye. I surrender to you. Who? He says, in whom the opposites are always present. Both knowledge as well as ignorance is present in him. All the opposites are present in him. And knowledge, ignorance, and all kinds of opposites are present all over, always. Tad Brahma, you understand. Visva Bhavam, you understand. Ekam, you understand, right? Anantam, Adhyam, original, Adhyam, very first one. Ananda Matram, he is only bliss, nothing else. He is only bliss. Avikaram, there is no change in him. There is not even a slightest change, always bliss. Aham Prapadye. You can picture yourself as Dhruva if you want when you do that. Aham Prapadye. Next we go to Prahlada. These are very important. These five are very important. Also Draupadi is very important in the whole Bhagavatam. Okay? Prahlada. Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam. Tubhyam means I offer to you. Namastubhyam, we say like that, right? Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Haraye Adbhuta Simhaya. See, he is worshipping Narsimhavataram. Adbhutam, Ascharyam, wonderstruck. You've never seen anything like this. Adbhutam, Simhaya, says, Brahmane, Paramatmane, he says. Okay? Now Gajendra, him. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yetat Chit Atmakam. You understand? Purushaya Adi Bijaya, the very first seed from which everything has come. Adi Bijaya, Paresaya, Paraisaya, Paresaya, Abhidhimahi. In Gayatri Mantram we say Dhimahi, all the Gayatri. Abhidhimahi, that means always in a very close, very, very close to you. Okay? Abhidhimahi is what the Gajendra worships. My humble and loving pranams at my master, the Avatara Purushan who came and who has now left his body and gone. My humble and loving pranams to every one of you. To be able to share Bhagavatam itself is a blessing. I share, not only talk or listen, but to be able to share Bhagavatam together is a blessing that cannot be described. Don't take it lightly. Because without us realizing it, it has its effect. It makes the effect on us and removes the impurities in us, whether you realize it or not. That's why Bhagavan has brought us here, because he is purifying us. Only he knows. So always defer to him. So it's a great blessing that we are here. See, just imagine how happy a mother feels when the mother's child, or the father feels when the child listens to the instruction from the mother or the father. How happy the mother or the father feels. Just have you thought about it? Right? Same way, Bhagavan, our divine mother and divine father, he gives us instruction. But we don't follow it. Not all of us, some of us do follow it. And what is the instruction that Bhagavan gives us? Manmana bhava, mat bhakto, mat yaji, mam namaskuru. That's 4 things. Okay? Manmana bhava, mat bhakto, mat yaji, mam namaskuru. Mameva ishyati, satyam te pratijane, priyosi me. Priyosi me. You are very dear to me, my darling pet. Satyam te, I tell you the truth. You do these 4 things, you will attain me. Mameva ishyati. You will come close to me. You will be with me. What are the 4 things? Manmana bhava. Think of me in your mind. Bhava, experience me in your mind. First instruction from Bhagavan. Manmana bhava. Manasa bhajare guru charanam. Manasa bhajare. We think of so many things in our mind. Do we think of Bhagavan? First instruction is Manmana bhava. Think of me, experience me in your mind. Mat bhakto. Love me with all your heart. Love me. We love so many things. Do I love Bhagavan? Once one person went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and asked him, Swami, how come I am not able to see God? You are able to see him. And he told him, you cry for so many things in your life. Have you ever cried for Bhagavan? Have you ever cried for God? Mat bhakto, love me in your mind. Not the way Kamsa thought, but lovingly. So second, mat yaji, sacrifice everything to me. Why do you have ownership on anything? Why do you think I did this, I did that, this belongs to me, that belongs to me? No, sacrifice everything to me. Mat yaji, mam namaskuru. Worship me. Manmana bhava, mat bhakto, mat yaji, mam namaskuru. If you do these 4, then mameva ishyati, then you come to me. People who did this, they are the Bhagavatas. And many people did this. And what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is nothing but the experience of the Bhagavatas with Bhagavan. That is all Bhagavatam is. Nothing more. And people who followed Bhagavan's instructions, and some of those stories we are going to share with His grace, that is what Bhagavatam is. Now, the book that is called Bhagavatam is very sacred. But Bhagavatam is not limited to that book. Bhagavatam is happening even today, this minute, continuously. What gives authenticity to Bhagavatam? Why is it so important? And in fact, the Bhagavatam, the book, the Bhagavatam, is a panacea. Is there a panacea? We all are taught there is no panacea. No, there is one panacea in this world. the cure for all illnesses, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever illnesses we have, there is one cure, and that is Bhagavatam. This is told not by me, by Sukha Muni himself. He says, this is the panacea, listen to me carefully, is what he is going to say. One panacea, that and the sacredness, the efficacy of this Bhagavatam is acknowledged by masters of the Vedas who have experienced Bhagavan. So what is it that gives it this authenticity? The fact Bhagavan took an avataram. And why does he take an avataram? And people who related to him, that is what we are going to talk about. Why does Bhagavan take an avataram? Because he comes in response to the call of a devotee. That is the primary purpose. He comes. When a devotee yearns for him from his heart, Bhagavan comes in the form that the devotee wants him to. Because there is no limit. Bhagavan is ever free. He is free beyond time, space and form and rupam and namam and everything else. Nothing can bind him except the love of devotee. That's the only thing that can bind him. So he comes in response to the call and the yearning of the devotee, the bhakta. Bhakta samrakshanam. Primary purpose and avataram comes to give him succor, to give him comfort, to promote him, to inspire him in his further path, to bring him home. Now, in that process, few other things take place. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. That the people have forgotten what dharma is. What is the right conduct? Do we know? If I ask you, have you ever asked yourself what is the right conduct? Honestly, do you know what the answer is? There is one answer. But do you know? We don't. We know many things, but we don't know what a dharmic conduct is. Right? Sometimes I may know what a dharmic conduct this minute, next minute I don't know what a dharmic conduct is. Some other situation comes. So what is the conduct that keeps me in a dharmic way all the time? Think. Okay? So to establish that. And then dushta nirgraham. The evilness, the wickedness, everybody is good. Everybody is divine. All of us are Bhagavan's avatars. Amritasya putraha. Because we are all nothing but love that Bhagavan is. Except we don't show it. We don't conduct ourselves that way because of our wickedness. So Bhagavan comes, removes the wickedness, not us. Dushtas are not destroyed. The dushta nirgraham, the evil tendencies are destroyed. When the evil tendencies are destroyed, what is left? Nothing but love. Fourth reason that avataram comes is Veda Samrakshanam. He comes there to promote the practice of Vedas. Why? Because Vedas tell us what to do, what karmas to do, what actions to do, how to do them. They show us the way. They are the light for us to lead our life on. So these are the four reasons that avataram comes. Primary is Bhakta Samrakshanam. Same way a cow gives milk not to you and to me, but to its calf. We all benefit from it. So when avataram comes, everybody benefits from it. And the bhaktas, the bhagavatas, who are following Manmana Bhava, Mad Bhakto, Matyaji, Mam Namaskuru, who follow that, the interesting thing is you don't have to do all the four. That is the interesting thing. Manmana Bhava is enough. And that's where Bhagavatam is a panacea. All the other three will follow suit. People who do that, when they see the avataram, how do they relate to it? What is the thing they experience and the interaction between them? That is Bhagavatam. That gives the maximum thrill. Now, not everybody is inclined towards it. No. In Bhagavan's creation, no. Only a few are inclined. But Bhagavan is compassion. Compassion, daya sahara, limitless love. So even Kudarai Vellum Seer, we say in Tirupavai, people who are not going away from him, he brings them to his lotus feet. How does he do that? Because when you listen to the stories and the glories of the Lord, the exchanges, the experiences of the Bhagavatas, how they interact with the Bhagavan in the Avataram, the stories are so powerful, they attract you. They bring you in. How does it happen? See, we are all creatures of instinct. When we are born, nobody teaches an infant to go and suck milk from the mother's breast, or the calf goes to the udder. Who teaches it? Nobody. It's instinct. That's what we are born with. We all have instincts. Then what happens? The same child, if it has to walk, it has to sit up, it has to crawl, whatever, speak, it needs training. There's instinct, there is training. Then, same way, the senses that we have, which are all indriyas, always externally bound, they are given to us for our pleasure, to enjoy the creation, enjoy a sunset, a sunrise, a bird chirping. So many beautiful things are there in life that we can enjoy. But we don't know how to use our senses to enjoy. How to use our senses, that requires training. Do meditation, do tapas, do dhyanam, do the Sahasranamam Slokam. Not interested. People don't come because interest is not there, and somewhere else. Fortunately, what does a mother do when the child instinctively drinks milk? Does it drink milk all its life? No. What does the mother do? At some point in time, she weans it away from the milk and gives the child rice. The child initially resists. Doesn't like it. No. I want only milk. But the mother persists. Very soon, the child takes a liking to the rice and gives up milk. Doesn't even go there. Same way, even though we are not inclined to enjoy, to use our senses properly, we can train ourselves to do it. How do you do it? How do you train yourself? This is where listening to the stories and the glories of Bhagavan, it's a first initial training. It brings you this side. And the interesting thing is, not like my autobiography or your autobiography, which is boring. Maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can listen to that out of politeness. But then it is boring. But Bhagavan's glory and story, you can listen to it repeatedly. And the more you listen, the sweeter it becomes. And very soon, you want to hear only that. Talks and subject matters about others don't attract you. Then you're not interested in that. To talk about politics, to talk about all the other things. You want to hear only Bhagavan stories. That is the hallmark of the good. Who is a good person? A person who wants to keep the company of God, who is attached to God, and who instinctively wants to hear only about God and speak only about God. That's the hallmark of the good. Then what happens to him? Very soon, he actually becomes one, gets back home. We'll see how that happens. So, to listen to the stories and the glories of Bhagavan, you can, several ways you can do it. To begin, to start the training, to wean from the milk to the rice, the very first step, right? How do we do? You can read this Bhagavatam book, or somebody can read, you can listen, or you can go to a temple or go to a puja room, sit in a place calmly and listen, or a group of people can hear it together, or a wise person comes. He explains, reads Bhagavatam. Now, the group of people are very fortunate if the person who is sharing the Bhagavatam has had some personal experiences. Then what happens? Because that moment, when he describes the stories and the glories of Bhagavan, there are tears of joy, tears of succor, tears of touching Bhagavan. When Avatara Purushan comes in front of you, it's impossible not to cry. Impossible. Not tears of sadness. No. Tears of getting back home. Incredible feeling it is. And in that group, when a stranger walks in, what happens to him? Just a way a child smiles, and people who look at it, what happens? They all smile, isn't it? When you see a child smiling, automatically you also smile. It will be the stranger walks in, will also have tears in his eyes. That then, very soon, as the name and the sweetness of Bhagavan enters your heart, instantly another thing takes place. What is it? All your wickedness, the 6 enemies, internal enemies, they go away immediately. They don't wait. Your kamam, krodham, moham, madam, matsaryam, all these 6 enemies that we have, they vanish. When they go, what is left behind? Our natural self, which is nothing but prema. We are all embodiments of prema. The only thing that is stopping us from experiencing it ourselves is our selfishness. That is gone, because Bhagavan's stories are an infect or a disinfectant like that. They remove that, move away. Then, when only prema is left behind, one more thing is required. Prema, love, needs something, somebody to love to give love to, and receive love from. That is when the heart, the hridayam, sends that prema to the Shyama Sundar, Madana Mohana, that dark-skinned, blue-hued child, Krishna. When Vasudeva takes residence in your hridayam, Vasudeva leaves. Understand this truth. Vasudeva means the Lord of wealth. One meaning. When Vasudeva resides, Vasudeva leaves instantly, which means you cannot have Bhagavan, you cannot desire Bhagavan, you cannot, when you want Devam, and you also want Dhanam. If you want Devam, you will get Devam. If you want Dhanam, you will get Dhanam. If you want both, you will get only Dayyam, which is devil. Not possible. Brahma himself has said, Bhagavan has said this. In Trivikram Avataram, he tells Bali, Mahabali's son, important lessons. So seek God. If you want to seek dhanam, you cannot have God. You cannot seek both. Now, it is important, it's enough if we all behave, having taken birth as a human being, if we behave like a human, that is creditable. But if you behave like an animal, that is despicable. We must conduct ourselves with human values. Now, if I behave in a divine way, that is praiseworthy, is what Bhagavan says. So, the instruction comes now. This, I'm giving you context and introduction to Bhagavatam in a simple way. Next question is the stories and the glories of Bhagavan. Those of us who have been to a seashore in our young days or even after we grow up, and I'm sure we all have done this. We go there, look at the waves, right? Have you ever counted how many waves are there? Suppose, say, you want to count how many waves are there. Just go there, picture yourself standing on a seashore and start counting the waves. The counting happens for you, the number of waves when you start counting, and it ends when you stop counting. But the waves don't stop. Bhagavatam is like that, a limitless ocean. So the stories we pick are like gems that we pick. They're not limited to that. If I want to hear Kali and Ardhanam, then that is what gem I pick. That is not limited only to that. Another important thing that Sukha Muni will explain, but I'll give that very briefly here. Bhagavatam did not happen 5,000 years ago. It is a limitless, from eternal, from Adhyam, from the beginning of time, and we'll go through the yugas in response to Parikshit's question, hopefully in the next couple of days. Just remember, in this particular Mahayugam that we are living in, Kali Yugam, yes, there was a Vyasa approximately 5,000 years ago. Krishna Bhagavan came, Avatara Parabrahmam came in the form of Krishna. Avataram ended, Kali Yugam began about 5,000 years ago. Yes, before that, Bhagavatam took place, yes. But there are other Bhagavatam, other stories that are there from Yuga, from right from beginning. Okay? So please understand that limitless and time from the beginning of time, even before that, actually. That is what Bhagavatam. Now, how should I partake this Bhagavatam? It is nothing but sweetness. It is nothing but nectar. Even actually, I'll tell you, Prahlada tells his father, Appa, this is even sweeter than nectar, is what he says, Bhagavan's name. Thinking about Bhagavan. Bhagavan is so sweet. So, it is that sweetness, nothing, this is the sweetness that beyond our taste, trust me. And it is something out of this world. And so, how can I partake that? Whichever way you want to partake it, however much you want to take it, it will be only sweetness. Because if I take sugar from my left hand and eat it, or take sugar in my right hand and eat it, that is left hand and right hand only for the eater. Sugar remains the same. The sweetness in sugar remains the same. So remember that. So whatever way appeals to you, you can approach Bhagavan. There are instructions given, and I'm going to start there, and then you see how the Bhagavatas followed that. Manmana bhava, that is where we have trouble, to think of Bhagavan. To do that, tyaja durjana samsargam. First instruction comes. Give up bad company. Bhaja sadhu samagamam. Seek and be in the group of people who are doing bhajans, who are always singing the glories of Bhagavan. That too alone is not enough. Then you need a third one. Kuru punya ahoratram. Day and night and day, do punya karmas. You must understand what punya karma is. One of the questions Parikshit asked. So remember the instruction, then we'll come to the answers. And fourth, smara nitya anityatam. Think, reflect what is permanent and what is impermanent. Remember these four and remember Manmana Bhava. Now we go to the stories of the Bhagavatas. Okay? A 6-year-old child was living in a small house. This house owner was very much involved in bringing Vedic rishis. The Vedams were always being chanted in that house. So imagine how divine and sacred the atmosphere will be when Vedas are being chanted continuously by people who know how to chant Vedas. It's so beautiful it is, right? So that is what his house was. In that house there was a servant maid. This 6-year-old child was the son of that servant. Chaturmasyam came, which is the 4 months of rainy season. The rainy season, the sannyasis, the rishis do not travel. Why? Because they don't want to hurt the various insects and jantus that come out of the... So they stay in one place. They're so careful, ahimsa, right? Because so many jantus come. But the 4 months they stay in one place, normally they'll be moving around. The 4 months they stay in one place, they don't just idle around. They do lots of disciplinary things, yagam, homam, sahasranamam, so many things they will be doing, always in the smarana of Bhagavan. So this householder called all the rishis for their Chaturmasyam and doing all the yagas and all that, reciting Vedas, reciting. And this little boy was given the charter to look after these rishis. Somebody needs to look after their needs. They may want water, wash the feet, whatever it is, right? They go and bring this, somebody has to do it. Right? So, in that process, he sat with them and listened attentively to the recitation, divine recitation of the Vedas. And then, every day, after the rishis all were fed, after they ate, and whatever they ate, and then they used to get up and go, whatever was left behind on their leaves, this boy used to go and take it and eat it. His mother saw this one day and she was grief-stricken. She was very sad. Oh, my son has to do this. He has come to this stage of having to, whatever is left over. Normally in India, you go there, dogs come and eat it. But here this boy is doing it. So she was very sad. But she didn't know what was happening. Then the 4 months were over and the rishis were leaving. Now the boy wanted to go with them. He said, Swami, please take me with you, take me with you. They said, we cannot take you with us because you are very young. You are under the custody of your mother. But they were so happy and pleased with him. This is what Bhagavan says. How do you get knowledge from a guru? Tat viddhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya, he says. That's what this boy was doing. He is doing sevai, service, namaskaram, worship. He gives all of himself to them because when the guru, teacher is pleased, sincerely he is pleased, oh my God, so much he will teach you. Okay? Without you asking. They were so happy. So they called him. We cannot take you, but this is what it is. They said, Kanna, Tripadasya, they say, there is only one part in this whole thing that you see here, all the thing you see and experience, that is only one part of Bhagavan. There are three parts that is in immortality, in Amritam. Okay? That is what first thing they taught him. Mooladharam, okay, Madhyama, Pasyanti, Vaikari, they taught him all that. They said, focus, don't get attracted to the thing that you see and experience. No, that is all temporary, comes and goes. But there is something that is present within everything, and that is activating everything. They taught him that basic knowledge, that is Vishnu inside, and that is where you must focus. So don't desire these things. And then they taught him the Dvadasa Akshara Mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pradyumnaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Aniruddhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sankashnaya. You recite this mantra. Don't attach yourself. Don't have any desires. Focus on the Amrtatvam that is beyond everything that you see. Then they went away. Now this boy was constantly reciting these mantras. And he followed, I should not have any desires. So he was not getting attached to anything. Then, one day, early morning, his mother went to the backyard to do some work, got bitten by a black cobra, and she died. And this boy saw that with his own eyes. He saw the suffering his mother went through before she died. Once she passed away, he was very happy. The householder asked him, Kanna, how come your mother went away? You are happy? I'm happy because she has now one less thing to worry about. She was always worried about me, whether I was getting enough sleep, enough food and all that. Now she doesn't have to worry about it. And he took off. He went northward. Started a journey. Go to the forest to look for, I want to reach this Bhagavan. I want to see him. He walked and walked and walked. 6-year-old boy. And body was getting weaker. Skins were getting tough and rough. But he didn't stop. Continuously reciting the name, I want to see Bhagavan. I want to see him. I want to see him. I want to have his darshan. Then, he could not walk anymore. So when he fell down, he heard a voice. You want to see me? You cannot see me. So long as you have this desire, you cannot see me. So long as you have this feeling, I, thinking you are this body, you cannot see me. Now, this boy was very intelligent, highly intelligent. Because remember, he has learned the Vedams and all that from Maharishis. He understood, I am doing the wrong thing. First thing is, we must admit, I am doing the wrong thing. Very important. Vivekananda said in the speech, I don't know. That's the first step to knowledge, is to say, I don't know. Be truthful. I don't know. Oh, I am doing the wrong thing? Okay. There's no ego involved. He sat down under the tree. And we started reciting, because the voice also said, to have the desire to see me is okay, nothing wrong in the desire. But to have the desire to come to the forest to see me, that is not right. Why? I am everywhere. So he sat down recited the mantras, and the way he said it is very important. Because he had learned the Vedas, even though he was not tutored the normal way, he took the outgoing breath as Samavedam. Incoming breath, intaking breath as Samavedam. Outgoing breath as Rig Vedam. And he recited the mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And intaking breath, outgoing breath, intaking breath, completely music. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then he left, he stopped breathing. Then what happened to him? He became whom we call as Narada. And what is this Narada? He is not a human being, the way we think. In our mythology, in our stories, we give Narada a Vinay. Nothing wrong. There is a symbolic. I'll tell you what the symbol means. It's a very important symbol. And we also say that he is going all around the universe reciting Bhagavan's name all the time. What is the symbol? What does this mean? Narada is nothing but our spinal column. And the music and the various, what we call as Veena, has got the tufts in it, right? Those are the nadis that we have. And what is the music that is being produced? So hum. So hum. The intaking breath and outgoing breath. So hum. So hum. This music is not produced by anybody. If you close your eyes, or you close this, if you are happy to, fortunate enough to get a glimpse of that nadam that is within us, that omkaram that is present all the time, that is Narada. Now we come to why I'm giving you the background to Narada and now the background about Vyasa. Because the Bhagavatam that we are going to share, we need to know the authority, the efficacy, the qualifications, the deservedness of the people who are telling this. So I'm sharing that with you. Vyasa Bhagavan. Now Narada, one important thing about company, I forgot to mention. If you look at a piece of iron and it takes a company of dust, what happens to it? It becomes rust. The same piece of iron, if it gets a company of fire, what happens to it? It's purified. So the company of Narada, remember. So it's very important that we keep good company. Company decides who we are. Now Vyasa Bhagavan. Vyasa was taponidhim, always established in tapas. Not an easy joke. And he had conquered all the 6 enemies that he had. The great achievement. And compiled and classified all the Vedic teachings. What kind of a knowledge it must have been. And composed 17 Puranas. To make it simple. And including the most exalted Bhagavad Gita itself. He's done all this. But he was not peaceful. He had no shanti, no amedi, no calmness in his mind. He was thinking, I have done all this because he wanted to help, serve the common man, to make sure all the things, people are all having difficulties, miseries. I want to solve all that. I want to help them, give them happiness. So that's why he did all this. But still he is not satisfied. So he was sitting one day on the banks of Saraswati river and thinking, What more can I do? What more can I do? Very sad. What is the Saraswati river? That is we all know something that runs underground, you cannot see. Yamuna, Ganga, Saraswati. Okay? See, you go to Prayag, okay, and they all the three combined there, joined there, right? We all know that. But where is the Saraswati? Very important. Now, Narada came there at that time. So that's why I'm telling you how it happened. Okay? See, the Saraswati, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Agnya Chakra. It is the three nadis we have. Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, Sushumna Nadi. They joined there, which means he was meditating. When you meditate, you hear the nadam from within. And that teaches you, Ahlada Dvani is there. Beautiful sound it is. Incredible. Out of this world. Out of this world. You don't hear it here, but you hear it. And it's a sound you cannot hear in this world. That is your teacher. That Narada teaches him. Yes, you are not happy because you think you have done all this. You still have this ahamkaram. I have done this. In spite of all the scholarship, they are all meant to attract the outside world. Others may come back, oh, what a scholar he is, all clap and all this. No, but it cannot attract your own mind. You will not have peace. And then it gave further education. Yes, you wrote Mahabharatam. Yes, you talked about Krishna and all that, but you also talked about Duryodhana. You also talked about all the other wickednesses and all that. So when yad bhavam tad bhavati, you think of wickedness, you become wicked. You think of good, you become good. That's the nature, it's inviolable part of nature. Taittiriya Upanishad also says that. As you feel, so you are. As you think, so you feel. So, one thing you have not done, all the things you have done, and any piece of work that you do, sans Bhagavan, is worthless. So, doesn't matter, you write Bhagavad Gita, that is why Jnaneswar, if you read Bhagavad Gita, so many people have given Vyakhyan. How I am telling you my journey to Bhagavad Gita. Jnaneswar, if you read, you have tears in your eyes. Because you have actually experienced the teaching of Bhagavan, not just an intellectual explanation. You must experience. Bhagavan is raso vaisaha. Only in the rasam essence you must experience, beyond intelligence. So, Narada explains to him, you go and sing the glories of Krishna. Glories of Bhagavan. They are the sweetness, nectar. That will give you the peace. Then he wrote the Bhagavata Purana. How did he explain? That I want to share that with you. He gave him the teaching of Amboja. Amboja. Amba means water. Ja means being born out of. Nara is water. Nara dayati iti Naradaha. That is why he is called Narada, because he gave water. What water he gave? What is this water? Think. Everything in the creation needs water to sustain, come out of water. Even a seed, even we, all beings, nothing can come out if there is no water. On a physical level, you understand. Now, on the real sense, physical sense is temporary, but at least we can connect to it. But what is the truth? The truth is, this body of ours, okay, the body of ours. Now, Amboja, when you think of that, immediately you think of lotus, right? Tamarai. We all think immediately. So what is the lotus here that we are talking of? Our body. What is the water out of which this has come? Seriously? Not from Brahma, not from anything else. All these things are, seriously, it is our mind. Manayeva karanam, okay? Jagat moolam. So when after this body goes away, mind lives. It is going to take another body till the mind becomes no more, till there is no mind. We have to keep on taking bodies. Okay, that's another thing. One I will talk about it later. So, the mind is Manasarovar. In that Manasarovar, there are beautifully two swans. Hamsangal. Hamsa means purity. When we talk about Hamsa bird is mythological bird. Okay, but even when you think of swan, think of purity, white and pure. So what is the purity? What are the two swans? What are the two Hamsas in the Manasarovar, in the lake of my mind? So hum. So the Manasarovar, lotus coming out, what is the teaching here is to see the purity in the mind and the creation outside, because there is nothing but Pavitram everywhere, the unity. The teaching of this unity was what Narada taught Vyasa. It became very clear to him. Even then, he started composing Bhagavatam, writing Bhagavatam. He said, Swami, oh Krishna, will you help me? Will you guide me? Who can capture your glory? Who can talk about your might? I cannot do that. Will you help me? First question. That is truth. Who can talk about Bhagavan's glory? Nobody. It's not possible. Then, Vyasa says a second point. He says, Swami, it seems, you are present in all the 8.64 million types of creations in the universe. When he said that, Narada stopped him. He said, Vyasa, no. In matters of Bhagavan, you should have no doubt, zero doubt. You said, it seems you are living. No. You must be 100% firm on that. Because Narada taught him, Narada became his guru. And the knowledge was fullness itself. Fullness, completeness, Purnam. That is why it is called Guru Purnima. That is how Guru Purnima came. Now, it is also called Vyasa Purnima because Vyasa learned. In this process, he became Brahmanidhim. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. From Taponidhim, he became Brahmanidhim. From doing tapas all the time. But the feeling of ahamkaram was there. When that goes away, you become one with Brahman. So Vyasa Purnima. And here, what is it that directs your mind to the lotus feet? Manmana bhava. Think of me. What is it that says? Buddhi. Buddhi is the one that directs the mind. Therefore, that moment is also called Buddha Jayanti. So that is the background to that. Now, we have about half an hour. So with Bhagavan's grace, whatever gems we can share, we will share. Now, Narada and Vyasa. We will see later on, Bhagavan Srimad Narayana himself taught Bhagavatam to Brahma. And Brahma taught that to Narada. And Narada taught that to Vyasa. And when Vyasa was teaching, Sukha Muni could not control himself. It is so attractive. He came and sat somewhere in the back bench. Listen to it. He couldn't. He said, he himself says, I danced in ecstasy like a madman. So he's going to say. And he was waiting to share this benefit to everybody, but you also need the receptacle. He taught that to Parikshit. Because of that, he gave to the whole of humanity. So that is the background there. In current time period, see, and we will go through this also in an appropriate manner, but just to understand, most of you may know all this. Right? Is Vaivasvata Manvantare. That is what we say. That means Vaivasvata Manvantare. Vivaswan is a Manu who's ruling us right now. His son was Nabhaga. Okay. Now, there is a beautiful Sanskrit teaching which I will share with you. Pradoshe Deepakaha Chandraha. In Pradosha Kalam, at the time of dusk, where is the Deepam, where is the light, comes from the moon. Prabhate Deepakaha Ravihi. In the daytime, the light comes from sun. Triloke Deepakaha. In all the three worlds that we live in, what is the light? Dharmaha. Dharma. Suputraha Kuladeepaha. For a lineage, a good son is a light for the whole lineage. Why is this important? We will see the story. Okay? So Nabhaga was the son of Vaivasvata Manu. And the lineage is very important. His son was Naabhaga. And he had few sons also. Naabhaga was one of his sons. Naabhaga, from early on, he had this quest to know, to properly educate it, to seek the Atma Vidya. He had that quest. So he went to Gurukulam and studied carefully, diligently, in a disciplined manner. Okay? But he did not come back home at all. He was involved in studies all the time. So, in the meantime, Nabhaga, what did he do? He became old. So he had to give the responsibilities for the kingdom. He divided it among his remaining sons. So Nabhaga finished his studies and came home. Everything has already been divided and given away. So he asked his brothers, what is my share? And they said, everything has gone. Only thing is our father has not been taken up. You can have our father. Immediately he went to his father. Appa, I am so happy that that you have been given to me. I am so happy. And then Nabhaga tells him, Kanna, listen, I have given everything away. I don't have anything to give you anymore. I don't have any properties, no kingdom, nothing. Everything is now gone. But the only thing I have, I know 2 mantras. That I will give you. They are going to be your wealth. And right now, Ambarisha is performing a yagam there. And to conclude this yagam, you need 2 concluding mantras. These are the 2 mantras that will conclude it. Because you have to bring to a proper conclusion. They don't know whether those 2 mantras, so they are continuing the yagam. But they don't know how to end it. You go and you conclude it. That's all. Immediately, okay, Pa, he falls at his feet, takes his blessings and goes to the yagam and recites the mantras. And everybody feels immediately, there's a huge effulgence and comes to a proper conclusion. Everybody is happy because they are struggling. And then Ambarisha tells him, Kanna, I'm very happy with what you did. You helped us conclude this yagam. But now I'm on my way back to Vaikuntham. I cannot stay here. You do one thing. All the remnants, whatever the remaining things from this yagam, that's your property. You take it. So he went away. Now, it is very important. When yagam is done, all the offerings, so many things are remaining there. And those, to get that prasadam is a great thing. That is what today, we get this black thing. It is only a symbolic of that. Okay, those days Brahmins were given whatever was left. Okay, so the yagam was gone, and then you do the cleaning up, right? Fire is put out, so you're cleaning up. So Nabhaga was gathering all the things to take away because Ambarisha told him it all belongs to you. At that time, a dark-skinned man came there. He was Rudra. He said, by all the sastras, scripturals, teachings, and according to the rules and dharma, all this belongs to me. Nabhaga says, sir, this is what Angirasa Rishi told me, so it is my property. It belongs to me. No, it belongs to me. So you got to solve this problem. Who to go to? We have to go to a third person who is subjective, who can pass a ruling on this. Third person, not any third person, who is also knowledgeable. Must be very well versed and dependable by both parties. Arbitration. Both parties must agree. So who did they select? They went to Nabhaga, Nabhaga's father, Manu's son, because he was so well respected in justice and dharma and everything. So they went to him. They each put up their case, and Nabhaga listened to them. Then he ruled in favor of the Rudra. He said, according to all the things belongs to him. Immediately, what did Nabhaga do? He fell at the feet of Rudra. Sir, forgive me, I made a mistake. I am very sorry. Out of ignorance I made this. With so much humility and vinayam and all that, Rudra was so pleased. So pleased he was with his sense of justice, his respect towards the father he had. He said, I have never seen anybody like you. Now, I will teach you. He taught him Atma Vidya. That means became one with Bhagavan himself. And then Naabhaga ruled. He became the richest king in the Ikshvaku dynasty. Now, we have 15 minutes and we'll share another very sacred story. Okay? This Naabhaga's son is Ambarisha. Ambarisha's story in Bhagavatam is a very important and sacred story. Some of us know it. I'm very happy. Some of you are already nodding. So this is very important. The interesting thing about Bhagavatam is, it's not a new story every time. Remember, it's a story you may have heard, but when you hear it again, it becomes newer to you. You get deeper into it. So that's a blessing we have. Those of us who heard it, we can enjoy it even more. First time we are hearing, we'll enjoy it together. This Ambarisha was a great king. Ideal, example, how a ruler should be, whether it's a small group of 10 people or ruling a huge kingdom, what should it be? He must love his citizens, the people in his group, as much as a mother does, and even more. That's how king should be. That's how any ruler should be. You must take care of your people, all their needs. So when you take care of someone with so much love, they respond. So it was like the whole kingdom was a body, and the Ambarisha was the heart, the hridayam of it. But he was also extremely devoted person. He knew all these are temporary. Smara, Nitya, Anityatam. He was following that. He followed that. Right? All the 4 instructions. All these people follow those 4 instructions. Remember, then only the Manmana Bhava comes. Then, because of that, where is the permanent thing? If this is temporary, where is the permanent thing? The permanent thing is Bhagavan. So, he said, Mata nasti, Pita nasti, nasti bandhu sahodaraha, artham nasti, griham nasti, tasmat, jagrada. He was telling himself, mother? No, there is no mother. There is no father. There is no relations. There is no brothers. There is no wealth. There is no house. Remember this. All these are temporary. Everything is temporary, going to go. Before you wink your eye. Tasmat, therefore, jagrada, beware. So he was always devoted to Bhagavan. Smara nitya anityatam. At the same time, he was doing, when you think of Bhagavan, automatically you will do only punya. Automatically you will give up bad company. This is the beauty of Bhagavan's company. That's what Bhagavatam says. You get hold of Bhagavan, automatically bad company will go away, good company will seek you, and automatically you'll do only punya. So only one thing is to get the company of Bhagavan. Then Manmana Bhava becomes easier. So when this happened, automatically, Vasishtha and Gautama, great Brahma Rishis, they came to him, they said, come on, perform an Aswamedha Yaga and all. Very good. Because this is what happened. When you take the step, not even step, just want to take the step to Bhagavan, not even taking the step, sincere desire, Bhagavan will make you take the step. And then he will give you the right guru and the right guide, and people will take you along like you wouldn't believe. So these people came and said, Brahma Rishis, let us do an Aswamedha Yaga. You must do an Aswamedha. What is Aswamedha Yaga? Immediately we think of horse. Immediately horse goes there, caparisoned, and all of us are Ramayanam and all. No. Aswamedha Yagam is a beautiful, these are all symbolic. Horse going there is symbolic. No, that's temporary. Horse is there today, tomorrow it is not there. But this is permanent we are talking of. So what is the real meaning of Aswamedha Yagam? Yagam means sacrifice. Aswam means what? Aswam means horse. Aswam also, there is Aswatha trees there that Bhagavad Gita talks about. Okay, what we call Arasamaram, I think, in Tamil, if I remember right. Where the leaves are always shaking, never stable. Okay, and same way, the Aswam, horse is never, it's always, you can never see a horse stable. It will be either moving this leg or that leg, moving always. So Aswam means shakiness. Medha is buddhi. Yagam, sacrifice. Sacrificing the shakiness of your buddhi, thereby have it stiram and strong, is very important. Your buddhi has to become very strong. Otherwise, we are all mudhas, as Adi Shankara says in Bhajagovindam, right? Yeah. So that is what Aswamedha Yaga means, to strengthen the buddhi. Because when the buddhi is strong, automatically the mind will go to Bhagavan. Because buddhi is the one that directs the mind to Bhagavan. So Aswamedha Yaga means, that's what it means. So he did that. And because he is devoted to Bhagavan and did that so beautifully, buddhi became so stable. Buddhi is closest to Atma. It shines in the effulgence of Atma. Next to it, closest. Automatically, what happens? You see the selfishness goes away. And when the selfishness goes away, how do you look at the world, the physical world around you? That is Sudarshanam. Sudarshanam. Samyak drishti. When seen with the eyes of love. I asked Bhagavan one day, how do we look to you? An Avatar Purushan, Rama, Krishna, whoever that you think of, Avatar Purushan comes, how do I look to you, sir? You tell me. I am interested in knowing from your perspective. That's the question I asked one day. I got an answer. Seen through the eyes of love, all beings are beautiful. All thoughts are innocent. And all actions are sacred. That is Sudarshanam. So Bhagavan Vishnu came and gave him the Sudarsana Chakra. That is what we read. But what does it really mean? Vishnu, who is present everywhere, the oneness, the selfless love, that present everywhere, blessed him with this vision of Sudarshana. He is equipped with it. Chakra, because that kills, that destroys the wheel of time. There is no past, present, future when you have that. Everything is destroyed. That vision he was blessed with. That Sudarshana Chakra he had. Now, then after some time, he was, of course, very humble, very devoted, continuing on this. When you have that Sudarshana Chakra and all, you will not become proud. Pride and all is gone, long. Don't even worry about it, because you are in the company of Bhagavan all the time. Okay, nothing can happen after that. Now, no pollution can come. Okay, and because that is love, eyes of love, selfless love. Then Vasishtha instructed him one day to perform a particular vrata. not for him, it's for the benefit of the whole humanity, of not only humanity, of all. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. This is called Dvadasi Vrata. Dvadasi, 12. Dvadasi, right? 12. What is the Vratam? What is the discipline? He has to do this for 12 months. 12 months he has to do every day one particular thing. Then, the day before the last day, before that Vratam ends, he has to go on a fast. Cannot eat anything. On the last day of that Vratam, to conclude it, he must, within that particular time, because the time calculated, he has to eat something before that Muhurtam gets over, on that final day. So, this Vratam was going on. At that time, none other than Durvasa Muni came there. Man of tremendous accomplishment. Now, if you and I sit down and we do tapas, we will get power. Believe it, trust me. You can see the future. Many things will happen. You can walk through the wall. So many things you can do. But ahankaram will be there. A feeling of I, which Vyasa even had. And then, if you can't even control your anger, while you have the power, what is the point? Power is still there, but anger is not controlled. Durvasa like that. So he had not controlled his anger. But he's got lots of power and he had lots of goodness in him. He wanted to do many good things for others. But the short temper comes there, right? And so he came there with his retinue of his Sishyas, thousands and thousands of Sishyas. He came there. Of course, the king immediately welcomes him. Hospitality. Swami, so happy that you're here. So happy. Please come, please come. And then all the stories when you read, interesting about Durvasa's story that I've read, whenever he arrives, he comes there, he is received. Immediately he will say, I'll go and take a bath, come have food ready for me. That is what he told. That's something, because maybe he's been traveling for a long time, who knows. So he comes there and he tells the same thing. He says, Maharaja, I'm very happy, but I'm going to go to the river, take bath and come and have food ready for me and for me and for all my Sishyas. He goes away. Now, in the meantime, this is the final day of that Vratam, and the Muhurtam is coming. Muhurtam has come, actually, and it's going to end. And he has to break his fast. He must break his fast, according to the rules. Otherwise, the Vratam goes away. On one hand, if he takes something to eat, that is adharma, because you cannot eat before the guest eats. That is the dharmic rule is there. And this guest is not an ordinary guest. He's a big rishi. Everybody is God, but still, there is a... So what do I do? How can I have to break my fast at the same time? I cannot eat. What do I do? Big quandary. All of a sudden, everything was going so nicely. Last second, this quandary has come and huge agitation, what to do? Immediately he goes to Vasishtha, his guru. Swami, this is what we do. Even Krishna himself does it. You will see later on. Okay, when we have a Vedic priest, a leader, an acharya, even though you and I know what to do, we should not do that. We must ask him, sir, what should I do? Then carry out what he says. Very important lesson. Okay, so he goes to Vasishtha, and Vasishtha says, it's all right. The rules are there. But according to you do one thing. You take the tulasi leaf and take one drop of water and put that drop of water in your mouth. Because tulasi is a punyam, it's a vehicle of merit. Okay? And apam, water we know it's also punyam, so it's okay. So since Guru said it, immediately he did it. The moment after he did it, Durvasa shows up. And he is now understood from his yogic vision, this guy has done this. King, how dare you do this? Swami, what did I do? How dare you eat before you invited us? The guests have come. Don't you know the basic dharma and rule? And this is the interesting thing. When you are dharmic, when you have that vision, when you are selfless love, you are the strongest person on earth. Nothing can shake you, as Hanuman was. Nothing can shake you. When you are with dharma, nothing can shake you. So, At the same time, you are not proud. This is a beautiful feeling. So Ambarisha was strong. I mean, he was, Swami, I didn't do anything. What did I do wrong, Swami? I didn't do anything wrong. No, you did this. And here you go. Tang, and immediately he plucks one hair and throws it at him with a sabam. And this hair becomes a Rakshasi, out there to kill him. The instant he does that, the Sudarsana Chakram from Ambarisha comes out. With a wheel shining in effulgence, a tremendous speed, it kills that demoness in a trice, not even before you wink your eye. What does it mean? In front of selfless love, no wickedness can exist. Agni, you put anything in it, it becomes paspam instantly. Selfless love. Then what did that Sudarsana Chakram do? It didn't stop there. It started chasing Durvasa. It went to him, went after him. Because he's the one who threw that thing, right? It went after him. And now Durvasa ran. He ran for his life. Literally, Chakram was chasing him. You can picture this. But the effulgence was chasing him. And he ran and ran and ran. And he went to Brahma. Swami, help me, help me. Brahma said, this is beyond me. This belongs to Narayana. Okay, I don't have any domain there. So you go to Paramasiva. He went to Sivan, look, yes, I agree, but I have to respect Narayana's wish. I cannot do anything. We better go to Narayana himself, Mahavishnu himself. And so he goes and falls at Mahavishnu's feet. Swami, help me, protect me. And then he tells him, Durvasa, yes, you come to the right place, all right. Then you are perfectly right. Yeah, I have all the power and all that. But, my power and all will go very well, except in one place. Where it concerns my devotee, I don't have any power. All my Icha Sakti and all that, all my Sakti I have, cannot stand up to the Prema Sakti of my devotee. So I'm helpless. I cannot help you. You do one thing. You go and fall at the feet of Ambarisha. And then maybe he will pardon you. Because he is my devotee. Bhagavan says, I am the servant of my devotee. In fact, he says, I am constantly waiting, alert, always, 24 hours, 7 days a week, always alert, not even winking an eye, not even losing one fraction of a second of attentiveness in the puja room of my devotees. You know why? He says, because at any time, my devotee may wish for something and then I have to carry it out. So I'm always waiting there, is what he says. So here Durvasa comes, falls at the feet of Ambarisha. Swami, you falling at my feet. Ambarisha is Vinayam personified. So humble, humility. Swami, how can you fall at my feet? No, it's not correct. He's not ego saying, you come to me now. No, you cannot fall at my feet, sir. Please, it's not right. Then he says, Durvasa saying, Ambarisha, I did not realize the extent of your devotion and bhakti. Please pardon me. He says, please pardon me. Now, think one thing, and then I'll tell you what happened after that. But here, we should not think, these are all done to promote, to highlight the glory of bhakti, devotion, to highlight the glory of devotee. That is why all these things take place. Okay? The power, it's bhakti that is important, the love for God. That's why it's important. That's why everybody plays their role. Then Ambarisha prays to, he prays to Narayana. Swami, please forgive him. Please excuse him. Then the Sudarsana Chakram stops. That, the story of Nabhaga, Naabhaga and Ambarisha. Look at the lineage. They all were established in Atma Vidya. What does it mean? What does it mean? Manmana bhava, mad bhakto matyaji, mam namaskuru, mameva ishyati. That is what Atma Vidya is. Mameva. You will attain me only. Because manmana bhava, mad bhakto. Matyaji, and always worshipping. That's the story of Ambarisha. Now, with Bhagavan's grace, he has brought us exactly to the allotted time. I'll say one thing and then we can conclude for today. That Swami always takes care. So, in Bhagavatam, there are 3 types of upasanas. I'll just cover that and go, because tomorrow Swami's grace will cover something else. Because it's an endless ocean, right? Vishnu upasana, Vasudeva upasana, and Narayana upasana. Vishnu upasana, very simply what upasana, upa-asanam. Upa-asanam. Asanam means seat, be seated, be established, live there, upa, close to. Close to what? Close to Bhagavan. Upasana. Okay? So Vishnu upasana. Vishnu means Vispam Vishnu, we say like that, right? In all the physical manifestations, the embodiments we have, a speck of sand to a distant star, to a tree, to our human body, to a chair, whatever it is, physical embodiments, the essence that is present within, that is Vishnu. So, I can look at a chair, I can worship it as Vishnu, because that is the truth. Sarvam Sajivam, we couldn't see that. Beautiful Gopika's thing. So, that is Vishnu Upasana. Now, what about thoughts, feelings, emotions, activities that I do? Is I'm a body, but I also do activities. The essence that is present in all that, including the essence present in physical embodiments, that is Vasudeva. So I can worship the actions I do, the thoughts I have, whether anger, desire, or feeling of happiness, or pride, whatever feeling I have, that is Vasudeva. That is Vasudeva. Don't separate it from him. That is Vasudeva Upasana. Now, if I were to do it this way, look at, actions, feelings, emotions, and everybody that I see, even my worst enemy, everybody is now Vasudeva. I start looking at Bhagavan there, then what will happen? I come to Narayana Upasana, which is the oneness in everything. That is what Bhagavan says. So 3 types of Upasana. And with that, we will conclude today. And there are 3 Mangala Slokam I will say. Some of you may know, most of you may know. And all the 3 are very important. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahisaha go brahmanebhyah subhamastu nityam samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. First one. Swasti prajabhyah, let all the citizens, let everybody be well. That's number 1. Paripalayantam nyayena margena mahisaha. The leader, the king, let him rule the rulership in a well way, in a good way, in a beneficial way. Go brahmanebhyah. The go means many things. The cows, the mother earth, the Vedam, everything, brahmanas, all them. Subham astu, nityam, always. Samasta lokaha, sukhino bhavantu. Kale varshatu, parjanyah prithvi sasyasalini. Desoyam shovarahito, brahmanaha santu nirbhayaha. That's the second sloka. Let there be rain at the appropriate time. And let all the countries, all be well, sukham. And let the Brahmins means not the Brahmin varnam, not the kulam varnam, it is a varnam, it's not the kulam that you are born in. People who are Godward bound, let them live without fear. That's meaning is. Aputra putrinaha santu pautrinaha adhanas sadhanas santu jivantu saradam satham. Now that means people without children, without sons, let them have sons. And people who already have sons, let them have grandsons. That's what it says. Adhanas sadhanas santu. People without wealth. That does not mean only material wealth. The prosperity, all types of wealth. Let them get sadhanas santu. Let them get that propitious, beneficial wealth, and let all the jivam, every being, live in a well way, in a well-being of all the jivas. Those are the things. Okay. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.